Hey guys, Dan the Wolfman here. I'm going to be reviewing the Safariland 577 GLS Pro Fit holster. I want you to see how they make different models that fit a shit ton of different pistols, so it can save you a lot of money, especially if you have some obscure stuff. As you look at the list there, like a Grand Power or maybe a Salamazar. You got a long, you got an extra wide pistol, something like that. But if you got multiple pistols, you might want to look into these holsters. The Safariland 577 GLS Pro Fit. I'm wearing it now. I played with it yesterday. And what this is like kind of an advanced, I believe it's a level 1 retention, but like an advanced level 1, not quite a level 2 retention. Everyone's familiar with their ALS. This is the GLS system, the grip lock system. So what it has is basically a lever underneath when you're just going for your regular grip. It has a lever underneath that your middle finger will be pushing up on. Okay, so I've been kind of trying to find holsters I like for this pistol that I compete with that can possibly be concealed, which I did today. I have another holster that's kind of like way too big for concealment, sort of. So um, this does it. This is the 577, meaning that it has the belt loops. They also make other versions with just the paddle, one that comes with both, etc. and so forth. If you look at just this model, look at all these different firearms. Oh, it's not really going to focus. All these different firearms, just this one holster fits. If it has a red dot, it means you got to put a tiny little piece of plastic shim in there. You can also adjust the retention as far as how much wiggle left and right, and it comes with a thing to do that with. So this is good for me in case I happen to pick up a 1911 in the future, or maybe a FNS long slide, or maybe Glock 41. I have a friend who has Grand Power Excalibur, pretty rare, but yet it will fit that. It can fit a lot of things, any Beretta. So, there's a good chance someday in my life I'll pick up a Beretta in 1911, and this will fit it. So, it's made of hard nylon. There's space around the firearm, so it's very good in heat, cold, um, basically elements. It's going to handle. There's a lot of space around the firearm. It's a nylon that's not going to damage any of your firearms. In there, it's not going to leave bad scuff marks or anything like that. And so, if you're looking for something that will fit multiple firearms, or if you're looking for something that if you open carry occasionally, which occasionally I do, only if it's at two restaurants where I'm known and they know I open carry and there's not going to be issues, and you want a little bit of a retention, if someone came up behind me and you can't really see what's going on, and you just start grabbing at the grip from behind, it's not going to disengage at all. You have to, it's not like a level 2 or a level 3, but you kind of got to know what you're doing. And even if you pushed in, but kind of at the wrong angle, if you're prying out, whatever it came out, it's going to be difficult enough where by then you're getting your elbow down or shoving it down there and fighting the person. So if you're looking that has something for a little bit of retention, if you occasionally open carry, but you don't do it all the time, where you don't want to dedicate to like an ALS system, which is more retention, which is probably better. If it's something dedicated that you do every single day with the same firearm, and something much better than just hitting with a trigger finger or a middle finger on the side here. I've never felt comfortable with that. It can do that. If it's something where you're going hiking, especially where you might take a fall, something for out in the brush, something that you want you're hunting and you just need a pistol for two-legged predator defense, possibly, but you have a long gun, but you're moving around, or maybe something, even if you work on cars all day and you're down, rolling in underneath and whatnot, and you want some retention so your pistol doesn't go flying out in a lawn sale. Anything like that, this may be something you want to look at, especially if you have different or obscure firearms, or you're just trying, like, just as a range holster, something that will fit multiple firearms you have. That list, I left it up there long enough. You should be able to pause that and go, oh, whoa, hey, it fits all these different pistols, and that could save me a lot of money. So today I did conceal it because I wanted to test it before I made any kind of video. I did a bunch of draws last night, and then I did some draws today before I loaded up to go out to make sure that it was working and everything's good for me. And then I had a long sleeve because it was a little cold. I had a long sleeve on top of this, and then I wore this today out to eat. Now it's pretty long because this is a long pistol, and it's even a little bit longer than that. So I had to be a little careful of that kind of thing. But it concealed it well enough, and it was comfortable decently enough while driving. I was able to draw in the car without a problem. I wanted to test that. So all you have to do is get a firm grip. If I try go slow, I've sometimes had occasional problems, and usually I like to run my belt through all loops, or through the holster, through the loop, through the holster. Just because it's a long version, it was kind of canting it in too much grip-wise, so it was occasionally I would mess up the draw if I was practicing panic draws, like getting off the line, that kind of thing. So I decided to not put it through that loop and actually hike up the pants and kind of wedge it out a bit, and then it's much better. So I can just make my draws, okay, no problem. So even if I was, so don't know if I'll be switching to it, unless it's something I'm going to dedicate it, but something you could have all the time, or even kind of slow. And it kind of depends on the belt. So it's not necessarily the holster, but the belt and your body type. And this one, I just think because it's kind of the long, and I'm not on a duty belt, like a competition belt. So I just have this through a thick leather belt now. It's kind of canting in a little bit, which sometimes my middle finger is pushing the lever too much in this way at an angle instead of directly teed. It's supposed to go this way, and sometimes I'm getting it at that. But if it serves your purpose for what you're looking for, or you want a little bit of retention because you're out in the woods, you're hiking or something like that, I think you should look into it. And that's just kind of me. I got to remember my grip is just getting a firm grip, and then it's not a problem. If I'm getting off the line, it's not a problem. So it's snug in there, and if it's a different pistol, it has, like I said, you can adjust it so there's a little less wiggle this way. You always have a little bit this way. It locks on the front of the trigger guard. So it's a neat system. It's definitely something you might want to consider, you know, as a range holster, or if your purposes fit it. I'm not going to go to it full time, I don't think, but it's something interesting, especially if you have some obscures. They have wides now, wide longs, they have longs. The compacts fit a whole bunch, so more people, you know, it's not like it'd be concealed carry with just a long t-shirt hanging over it. It's a little too thick for that. But wintertime, if you have an overcoat, something like this, jacket, whatever, it's not a problem. Anyway, guys, there's this Safariland. This was the 557, the GLS, the grip lock system. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and go over to Safariland's site and check it out. They have all kinds of holsters and gear. Thanks.